Hello and welcome to another Bushwhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at NASCAR Authentics Wave 13 for 2021, the final wave for 2021. They have said that the next wave will start the 2022 waves and it will have next-gen cars. I'll say I'm wondering if they're still going to get Gen 6 cars, even though we're going to go to the next-gen cars, because I kind of feel like there's no way they're not going to put an authentic of Bubba Wallace's Talladega win or Kyle Larson's championship win. There's still some cars from the end of the year with the Gen 6s that I highly doubt they're going to skip. It would be a very shock to me if they don't do Bubba Wallace's McDonald's Talladega win in Authentics, but I don't know. But anyways, we still have one final wave of Gen 6s fully right here, and sadly, something is wrong with it. He said, when this wave first got revealed, you saw the back of it. It was pretty solid selection of cars. Kind of weird there's no Mustangs at all, and there's no Xfinity or truck. It was oh, that's kind of weird. And then when we saw it, we realized why. Because it is the return of the crappy mold. The infamous PTC mold has returned into Authentics once more. As far as Authentics goes, we've only gotten it once, which was back when 2018, one of the final wave of 2018 was also on the crappy PTC mold. That wave had Chris Buescher's Busch Beans car and such in it. They said they rushed that one out because of, they wanted to go out for Christmas, so that's why they used the different factories, so to rush them out quicker. But I don't know why they're so worried about rushing this wave out. Except nothing in this wave is oh, wow, these need to get into stores right now. I have to get these right this second. None of these are like that. But, I don't know. Why don't we just hop right into the wave? So, first up, we've got Erik Jones' Special Warfare Air Force car from the Fall Talladega race. This one's got some cool packaging. You have a lot of that kind of paint splatter and desert look up here. It's pretty cool. As I hit the camera. Let's crack this open. This one comes with the sticker. You got United States Air Force Special Warfare, Erik Jones, number 43, picture of a soldier right there. Here is the paint scheme itself. As you can see, PTC mold. It's got a black base. These molds are I will say these are slightly better than they were in the past for some reason, but they're still bad compared to the regular mold. And by better, I just mean the decals are slightly better. If for somebody who's not enlightened, this whole mold thing started back in the day with, back it was kind of 2014, 2015, where we had these, they were initially WLS mold cars. Here's one. Here's a, Carl Edwards Affleck car. You see, it was initially WLS, and when these first came out, they're just so bad. They feel much flimsier. The wheels are weird. They're different side and again flimsier, and then you can just see the decals are just all kinds of weird. As you can see, they're all kinds of bubbly, and they're not placed correctly, and the colors are all wrong and too dark, and like I said, everyone hated them. Then they got rid of the WLS mold, and it was okay, great. And then shortly after that, we came into the PTC mold. As you can see right here. The PTC mold was basically the exact same thing. Here you can see how bad the color is on this car. The roof color is pretty close to what the car actually looks like, and then you can see all the decals. They're all dark, they're not lined up correctly around the bottom. You can see, it's just weird. They were really bad. Everyone hated them. Everyone, dumped on them. And for a while, we got rid of them. And then, like I said, they randomly made an appearance. Some of, the program cars were still using them. And like I said, they made that one random Authentics appearance until now, and we thought we were done with them. But they brought them back. There's a lot of, there's still decal issues to this. One thing to also point out is the fact that this is an old mold. It's not even the new mold. As you can see, it's kind of hard to tell on this one, but the body has changed a little bit. This is the older Camaro body, not the newer one. So it's it's not even the right mold in general. And that's the reason that there's no others, because they don't have a PTC mold for a truck, or they don't have a PTC mold for a Mustang. They basically got rid of it before the Mustangs came. So that's kind of why there's no Forge or any other series cars. Like I said, it's just very disappointing that this mold popped back up. You saw, immediately when they revealed this mold, a bunch of people already, everyone immediately, kind of was on Lionel. Everyone was just, in the comments, wait, no, that's not the PTC mold, is it? And Lionel even was just we had to get this mold out, but don't worry, it's not going to happen again. which I'm pretty sure is what they said in 2018, but that's behind the point. But whatever. Why don't we just get to the cars themselves and stop ranting about this mold for a second? They said, I do really love this paint scheme. I'm probably going to get the 124 of this car. I said, Eric Jones, ran that other car I just had out here. He ran, the Tuskegee Airman Air Force car, which was also an Authentics. And then this one ran in the fall Talladega race. Like I said, it's a really cool paint scheme. Said you got like the matte tan look. You got like the bright neon orange number, which, on the same side, it kind of works with this color, but at the same time, like I said, I hate how Petty's so worried about their neon orange roof number. It's actually the right neon orange for once. I'm kind of surprised that the PTC mold gave that correctly, but definitely a really cool paint scheme. I'm glad this made its way into Authentics. You can see, like, back there, you can see where the decals are not wrapped correctly at all. I said, for some reason, it's not as bad as, like, those cars I showed you before, like that, how bad that Pennzoil Platinum Logano is. Like, the PTC mold, that's why it was so infamous. The decal quality was bad. The whole thing just felt cheaper. But, like, this one isn't as terrible. It's still not good. And, the regular mold is way better. Regular mold's like EL or something, isn't it? Yeah, EL. EL is the regular mold. But anyways, there is that. Let's hop into the next car. We've got Chase Elliott's Napa. I'm not entirely sure what to call this car. This was his Southern 500 car. It was something to do with, a foundation, or like it was, designed by a child with cancer, one of those cool things they always do. But so this was the car he ran in the Southern 500. It's worth pointing out that I didn't even notice that before, is that the back of these stickers are yellow now. That's another thing. For some reason, the PTC mold can only print on yellow paper. But you see, you got Napa Auto Parts, Strength, Bravery, and Courage. You got the puzzle pieces, the kind of hand-drawn 9 and everything. It's pretty cool. Here is the car itself. I said, I forget exactly the entire story of this car, but it was, something along the lines of that. Yeah, there it is. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Definitely cool. We don't really get these cars, like, with top teams and drivers anymore. You'll occasionally get somebody who will run, like, David Reagan ran some, and you have, like, like Joey Gase will run some occasionally, where you'll have, like, some, a kid with cancer gets to design a car, they'll get to submit different paint schemes, and one of them will win, and they're really cool, because they're always really unique paint schemes. Like, something like this really does stand out, especially if you're, like, a Chase Elliott collector, and you have, like, all the 124s, like, this car is definitely going to stand out against them. This one's really cool. I love the side piece here with, it has, like, the drawn-in Napa logo and the Auto Parts logo. Like, that is really cool. The drawn 9. It's almost metallic. It's kind of hard to tell with the PTC mold, but I'm pretty sure the gold is a little bit metallic, too. That's cool. The matte black with the gold looks fantastic. I said, this is definitely a cool car for Authentics. This one's probably going to fly off the shelves pretty well, but you can kind of see right here, another sign of the PTC mold is, notice how, because the body's a little different, look how the lines don't actually go to the bottom of the car. But this was a playoff car, so it should have the playoff markings, but it kind of does. Like, it does have the playoff logo, and it does have the yellow splitter, or spoiler, It doesn't have the windshield banner, of course. Pretty cool paint scheme. Glad that made its way into Authentics. Next up, we have Alex Bowman's Ally Nashville car. You see this one has a little bit of the design. This was the Dale Jr. design car. If you remember last year for Nashville, they had a paint scheme kind of fan vote where it was like one car was the designed by Dale Jr., one car was designed by Jeff Gordon. They didn't actually tell you which was which. But, which I think was smart, because Dale Jr. would have won anyways. But I said, if they told you who was the drivers, it would just turn into a popularity contest. But funny thing is, Dale Jr. won anyways. I kind of almost wish they would have put both into Authentics or something, or kind of like they did with those Dale Jr. Batman cars back in the day. Anyways, let's crack this baby open. There you got the sticker, Ally 48, Alex Bowman, with a little bit of design of the car right there. And here is the car itself. This is kind of another sign with the PTC mold, is that the colors are always off. Like, if you look at the real photo of this car, every single color on this diecast is off. The base color, the green, the teal, the pink, everything. It's like, I'm kind of curious to see if that's, I don't know if that's entirely PTC. Like, I don't think this car's out yet as far as like the little box like EL mold one. So I don't know if the actual version of this car will be colored correctly where this one isn't. Which means kind of one of those things, like, unless you actually look at a photo of the car, you're probably not going to notice it's wrong, but it definitely does look a lot duller where the real one was a lot more neon. Definitely a cool paint scheme, though. I said Dale Jr. This definitely looks a lot better than the normal Ally cars look, especially this year's. I do not like the next gen Ally car. It looks like a test car, but definitely a pretty solid paint scheme for Authentics. Next up, we've got Kyle Larson's Hendrick Cars 911 tribute paint scheme. Being the 20th anniversary of 911, we got a few different paint schemes last year. Only like 2 or 3 of them actually got made into diecast form, but this is one of them. You see this one has the stars behind the 5 up here on the packaging. Down here you have the We Will Never Forget little logo and everything. That's really cool. Glad that's on the packaging. See the wave behind it. Anyways, let's crack it open. There you have the sticker. Got Kyle Larson, HendrickCars.com. Got the American flag. We will never forget the Twin Towers as part of the 911 logo. That's really cool. That's a great sticker right there. Here is the car itself. I said I was a little bit disappointed by this car. Like, I like some of the paint schemes that actually, made like completely new paint schemes for this. Like, this one just took the primary Ricky paint scheme and just threw some gold stars in it and called it a day. Like, come on, you can do a little better than that, Hendrick. Like, I know it's the thought that counts, but at the same time, it's like, you had some really cool paint schemes. Like, the Petty car looked great. There's one of the cars in this wave that we'll get to next that was definitely a way better 911 paint scheme. But I said it's still cool that they did something. You see it's down there. It has that same logo with the We Will Never Forget on the back. The deck lid, same thing. This is, again, a playoff car. This was run, of course, at Richmond, the race that was actually on 911. So that's where you had a bunch of paint schemes. This is honestly the first car I saw when I realized it was the PTC mold. Because, like, I saw somebody post the photo of the back of the card and so the wave. I'm like, that's not a bad wave. And then, like, somebody sent me a picture of one of these cars. Or it was the Larson car. And I was like, wait. I was like, there's no way. That's not what I think it is it? And then it's like, yep, it is. PTC mold, all of them. Whatever. Solid car. I'm sure that will fly off the shelves. So now let's get to the other 911 car on the wave. We've got Christopher Bell's DeWalt 911 tribute car. Like I said, you see this one, they completely changed the paint scheme. They still got the DeWalt yellow, but like with the flag and everything. And this one definitely is, they put a lot more effort into this one than the Kyle Larson one did. Wish they would have put the We Will Never Forget thing again on the down here like they did with the Larson. So you got the stars up here with the kind of part of the card design. Just the back of the card if you want to see that. Crack this open. This one does not want to open. Here we have the sticker, got DeWalt, the American flag, got the 20 and Christopher Bell. And here is the car itself. Like I said, a pretty solid paint scheme. It's got a little bit of a gradient going on. You got the stars down the side, a completely different design. See DeWalt's Veterans Network. It's kind of interesting how it doesn't actually have anything like for 911 on this car. Like, where the other one has the We Will Never Forget and everything. It's kind of weird that this one doesn't have anything. Because this obviously was for 911. It ran on the 911 race and was patriotic and everything. Although it was kind of half and half because like some people did just take their like Coca-Cola 600 patriotic car, just run that. Like that's what Martin Truex Jr. did when he won the race. Which, man, the disappointing thing of that race was the fact that Kyle didn't run anything. Like, they had the original M&M's car, the solid flag car, took the logos off of. They brought that back for the 10th anniversary. And then they didn't even do anything for the 20th anniversary. They didn't even run, like, the patriotic Coke 600 car. Like, it was just the regular yellow car. Like, come on, Mars, you can do better than that. Like, I was so excited. Like, there was even some people kind of teasing that he was going to run it, and then it just nothing. Like, it was like, that really made me mad. Like, I was like, come on, Mars, you could have just done it for the 20th anniversary, too. It would have been cool to have, like, another car with that same paint scheme with, like, now it's, before it was on the, COT. Now it would be on the Gen 6 and so on and so forth, but whatever. Now Mars is gone, so we can't wait for the 30th anniversary to get it again or something. I don't know. But this is definitely a cool paint scheme, as I get enough tangents there. Next up, we hop to Kyle Busch. We have the, flame Kyle Busch Sports Clips car that somehow got made and somehow made into Authentics. You see the packaging, got a little piece of the car design. You got the Joe Gibbs Racing Interstate Batteries 30 Years logo up there. There's the back of the card. Crack it open. Here you have the sticker. Got Sports Clips haircuts, Kyle Busch's signature, and number 18. Here's the car itself. Basically, like I said, just the typical Joe Gibbs Racing Sports Clips paint scheme that pretty much every single driver has run at some point. I said I never liked this. I mean, I don't like any of the races that aren't Mars. I mean, Interstate's fine because the current Interstate car is cool, but like I don't really like these, like how he has like the one Stanley race last year and he had the one Sports Clips race. I'm sure that'll be the same this year, but I said the Sports Clips cars have just really never done anything for me. Like, you know, I don't know why. Like some of the older ones, like the one back in like the late 2000, like 2009 and 10, where like Logano raced it and Kyle raced it and such. Like that one really wasn't bad, but like the Sports Clips cars, like even though they change the paint scheme every couple of years, they all just seem to blend together and they always just never really do anything for me. I don't know why. You can see how the headlight is kind of screwed up right there. But he ran this at Sonoma, I believe. Yeah, it was Sonoma. So he said, I'm curious to see if he has one this year, but I was kind of surprised it actually got made because a lot of the Sports Clips cars always seem to DNP. Next up, why don't we go to the other Sports Clips car on the wave? We've got Denny Hamlin's Sports Clips Darlington Throwback. You see up here, you do have the Darlington Raceway logo up here. Got the 11. Does have the Joe Gibbs Racing logo on the card too, but surprised that's not up there at the top of the card like it is on the Kyle. You have the wave on the back. Crack it open. Whoops. As I drop the sticker. So you got Denny Hamlin, you got Sports Clips Haircuts, number 11 in the Joe Gibbs Racing 30 years. Here is the car itself. I'm honestly blanking what this was a throwback to. They had a fan vote last year. There was like 4 or 5 different paint schemes you can choose from. This is the one that won. I honestly forget exactly what this is a throwback to. I cannot believe I'm blanking on that. But I said this one was cool just because it has the diagonal Sports Clips logo on the back. That looks really old school. I said I'm surprised the PTC mode can still do the retro white lettering on the tires, but they can't do the blue line around it. But it does have the retro logo and everything. Not a bad paint scheme. Next up, we have Bubba Wallace's Dr. Pepper fan vote car. This was the one he ran at Road America on the 4th of July. Basically, they constantly did like fan votes for the different parts. Like they did a bunch of different hoods. You got to choose the hood, then you got to choose the side of the car, then you got to choose the roof part of the car with the back, and so on and so forth. Has some just black with some lines up here. Kind of wish they would have put a little bit more on there, but maybe a little Dr. Pepper or something. I don't know, let's crack it open. Here is the sticker. Got Dr. Pepper established 1855. Bubba Wallace got the picture from the hood of him drinking the Dr. Pepper with, you know, the emoji Dr. Pepper cans and everything. Here is the car itself. It's a cool paint scheme. Like I said, I was definitely hoping that when this was one of the hoods that this got won, and luckily it did win. That's just hilarious to have a picture of Bubba drinking a Dr. Pepper on the hood. I love that. I am legitimately thinking about getting the 124 of this car because it's funny, but I do not like that. Like, I don't know why there's a tiny Dr. Pepper logo up here and not just it's centered on it or something, or at least make it bigger or something. That's a very strange look to me, but I don't know. Definitely not surprised it got on Authentics. This is probably going to be a popular one. This is definitely one of Bubba Wallace's most popular paint schemes of last year. And last but not least, we've got Austin Dillon's Patriotic Bass Pro Shop 3. So you got some stars up here, and then you have the blue with the stars behind it, like the car up there. Let's crack it open. Here is the sticker. Got Austin Dillon, Bass Pro Shops, Bass Pro Shop and Cabela, Military Appreciation Discount, number 3 and all that. And here is the car itself. I believe he ran this in the Coco 600, if I'm not mistaken. This wasn't one for 911. This was just a Coke 600 car, I think. I'll have to look back at that, but really cool paint scheme. I love the look of this. You got like the smaller stars ghosted in the back. We got the bigger stars, the red, white, and blue and all that. Pretty solid paint scheme. Bass Pro Shop cars always look nice. Like I said, they're definitely really good at their paint schemes. Honestly, RCR is better at the Bass Pro Shop paint schemes than Joe Gibbs Racing is with Truex, but pretty solid paint scheme right here. And that is that for the wave. Like I said, not a bad wave selection-wise. Like, it's got a good selection of paint schemes. You know, I'm definitely disappointed that there's no, you know, no Fords and no trucks and everything. But like I said, the factory's why. That's probably a good thing that we don't have Mustang and truck and different stuff, or else they might be using it more. But hopefully we never see this wave again, or I mean, hopefully we never see this mold again. Like, at any point, like, please do not let that factory make a next gen diecast, please. I am begging you, Lionel. If you want this wave, it is a brand new release. You can get it right now. If it's anything like the last PTC mold Authentics wave, it's going to Pegworm Hardcore. Last wave stayed there for a while, which that's going to be bad because they're going to pile up that wave and then they're not going to stock the next gen wave that people actually want. So, I don't know. There's not really much else to say about that. It's that if the mold doesn't matter to you, this is going to be fine. Because like I said, it's still a good selection of cars, but whatever. Remember, for all of your other diecast needs, you can go to circlebdiecast.com. If you use the code BWhack, you can get free shipping any order over $20. So go check that out if you want anything. But I have pretty much all there is to say. This has been a review of NASCAR Authentics Wave 13 for 2021. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.